All right, welcome everyone. I'm Nicole Adams. I'm an associate vice president based here in Oakland. I've been on this campus since 2010. I think I know most of you on the screen, and it's so great to see you all. Thank you for joining us for this session with campus leaders. We're excited to bring you updates and share how things are going on campus, have you meet some new folks who have been with us for a while supporting students and really just running things on campus and doing such a tremendous job. So I want to give a shout out to Chelsea and Kim on my team for their help with this event. And of course, also the Alum Engagement Committee who really helped plan this session and have been just such great volunteers in the work that we do together. So thank you all for coming. Also, Lori Jakes is here. You may have heard from Lori. Lori, give a wave. She's the Associate Vice President for Alumni Relations at Northeastern. And my team and I report to Lori, and she has been fabulous. And her team has just been really amazing and welcoming to all of us and really supportive of the work that we continue to do with Mills alums. So I just want to give her a little shout out and appreciation. And I know many of you have met her at Reunion or maybe at a regional event. You've definitely heard from her by email. We're really trying to share with Mills alums as much as we can about the resources that are now available to you. So anything that's open to Northeastern alums, you can take advantage of as well. And, we've talked about career resources, local events. There's a lot of really good virtual events that you may have heard about recently. Some little like how-to sessions and the NU at noon lectures. So please take advantage of those things. They are also including, Mills faculty in many of those sessions, and there's just a lot of really good stuff across the board. So if you ever have any questions, let us know. But please, check those out and know that you're really welcome and encouraged to attend those events and take advantage of those resources. I also wanted to share that we have some events coming up in Oakland on our campus this spring. The Phenomenal Women of Color event is on March 19th. So save the date. More info will be sent out soon. We're holding Pearl M dinner again this spring for graduating Mills Legacy students. That'll be in April. And then all alums are welcome to commencement, which will be on April 27th. It's Sunday. And I think the time might be 10 or 11 o'clock. So there'll be more information as we get closer. But please come out and help us celebrate those students who are graduating. We still have, a small handful and they would love to see alums there cheering them on as they cross the stage. I also wanted to share that we've moved our Giving Day from Mills Giving in November, December around Giving Tuesday, and we're aligning it with the Northeastern Giving Day, which happens in April. So we're going to start kicking things off in March. Again, more info coming soon, but there's a lot of really good programs and activities on this campus that you can continue to support, like the Art Museum, which is celebrating its centennial this year, which is really exciting. So we'll have a big party in October. So save the date for October 4th to come back to campus and celebrate with us. But we have different programs like the Mills Institute. They have an endowed fund that you could support. Mills Greatest Need falls under Beth Coakley now for Mills College at Northeastern. There's just a lot of really good things that are familiar and that I hope you'll continue to support and invest in. So one more little kudos for the quarterly. I hope you're enjoying it. We love it. Allison Ross did an amazing job and worked with our longtime designer, Nancy, to just really reimagine the quarterly. And I think it feels as good as it looks, and I hope you're enjoying the content. And you may have noticed too that this newly redesigned quarterly really relies on content from Mills alums. So send us your ideas, send us your stories. If you want to talk about these longtime friendships that you've had, like this is the place for you. So keep sending in those class notes. We want to hear about all of it. So that's my last little kudos. With that, I'm going to encourage you to keep your cameras on. We love to see your faces. Stay muted. And if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat. They'll go directly to me and Chelsea. And then with whatever time we have at the end, we'll be sure to get in as many questions as we can. And then we can follow up if we run out of time. But we are going to end promptly at 1. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Dean Dan Sachs.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm really grateful to have a few minutes to talk to you about the campus. I'm Dan Sachs. I have been on this campus now for about 7 months, and with the exception of maybe today, it's sunny every day here, and it's really reflective of the beautiful environment that we have here in Oakland that you all know so well and have treasured over the years. It's pretty amazing, the legacy that exists here and that I've begun to learn about. So excited to spend a few minutes telling you about what's going on the campus, how Northeastern is evolving programming on the campus. As you likely know, um, besides Mills College at Northeastern and the Mills Institute, there are 7 other colleges that are running programming on the campus. We actually have academic advisors from Boston who are here today and throughout this week, who are speaking with students, sitting in on classes, talking to faculty, and really learning about what it means to be in Oakland and on this campus and what the programs are that we provide for the student body. So that includes business, computer science, College of Science, engineering, healthcare, obviously social sciences and humanities, et cetera. So it's a pretty broad spectrum of programs that are offered on this campus. Right now, those programs are being offered to over 750 freshmen, first-year students. We also have grad students, a few hundred grad students on the campus. And of course, as Nicole mentioned, there are Mills legacy students that continue to pursue their degree on the campus as well. Many of them will be graduating in the spring, and so it would be amazing if you all were able to participate in the graduation ceremony as well. In order to sort of continue to evolve this campus, if you've been here, you've seen Northeastern has invested quite a bit in upgrading everything from founders to the dorms, to a lot of the infrastructure, even things that you don't see underground, to make sure that the programs and the experiences for the students continue to run seamlessly. And that has been really exciting to see evolve, because beginning next year, we'll start to increase the student population on this campus and bringing on second-year and third-year students as we grow the campus overall. So it's exciting to see all the infrastructure on campus sort of come to life and be utilized to its full potential. In that context, we're also thinking proactively about how we engage with the city of Oakland and the communities surrounding the campus itself. There's obviously a lot of Mills legacy that exists in those spaces. I was actually at an event over the weekend where Congresswoman Lee was in attendance, and I met with her. She's, as you may know, running for mayor right now, and is a Mills alum, of course, and was so interested to hear how the university was thinking about its role in growing employment in this community, engagement with the city, engagement with communities, and really being, as an R1 institution, an opportunity to lift up Oakland at a time where it needs support from every corner. So that's exciting for us, and for us to think about how we connect to this larger ecosystem. And some of the things more practically, or at least one program I'll call out more practically, is that, and you may have read about this in the news actually, is that Northeastern has a program back in Boston that supports students in the very, very localized neighborhoods around the university, and provides full 4-year room and board scholarships to students in Boston. They brought that program to Oakland. It's called Oakland Opportunity Scholars, and it's for OUSD, the public school system here in Oakland, for the students here, up to 10 of them, to attend Northeastern full room and board for 4 years. It's about $250,000 per student. So we started that program last year. 7 students accepted enrollment here on the Oakland campus. They can go to Boston, they can go to London, they can go anywhere within the Northeastern network, but it's really an opportunity to provide at least from my perspective, and back when I was a student, like game-changing opportunity and scholarship for students to take advantage of a educational experience at Northeastern. So we're extremely proud of that program and many others that Christy and Beth and others will talk to you about that are occurring right here on the ground in Oakland. And at the same time, as I mentioned, we're looking to bring students from across the Northeastern network to this campus and ultimately build a full 4-year experience for students while supporting students who come in and out of this campus to maybe be here for a semester or a year or a couple of years. And what's interesting is that this next year, the next year beginning in the fall, we'll have students who were here as part of one of the first classes that was on this campus from Northeastern, who will be coming back because they had such an amazing experience here and attending classes here on the Oakland campus. So it's a very, very exciting time. In addition to all the things that I talked about, there's a program going on next week on responsible artificial intelligence in practice. So if you're interested in that, you could sign up and register for that program. It's taking place on this campus. It's an example of sort of bringing together the entire Northeastern ecosystem. Folks, faculty from Boston are coming out here. We have the head of trust and safety from Anthropic, his counterpart at Meta, folks from Intuit. Christy's leading a talk, and she can talk more about that, but just this entire sort of bringing together of industry and students and faculty to talk about issues of importance of the day on this campus and really energizing what everybody does here. So I'll leave it there. If there are questions, obviously, I can answer them when we move on, but just wanted to give you a brief snapshot of what we're doing and where we're going on the campus. So thanks again for the time.
Thank you, Dan. That was terrific. And yeah, if you have questions for him, just please put them in the chat. We'll try to get to them at the end, or we can follow up with you after the event. So now I'd like to welcome Christy Chung, Executive Director of the Mills Institute. And Christy, I'm going to pull up your slides.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dan, Nicole, for inviting me. And good to see all of you. It's always great to catch up and talk to all of you and see you again. So I would like to give you a brief overview of the Mills Institute and the work that we've done in the past year. And I know that just a few months ago, I was here speaking to all of you about our plans, our goals for the year. But now we have some things to report. So if you go to the next slide, Nicole. We can actually show you the numbers of people that are now included in the Institute. So I know that many of you here probably already get our newsletter. If you're not on the newsletter list and you would like to be, please just send me an email. We'll put you on the list really quickly. Every month or so, we send out a newsletter to update everyone, our partners, our faculty and staff, and students who are interested in our work about the work that we're doing, and some upcoming events as well. So as you can see here, the Mills Institute has really grown in the last year, and many of you here were actually with us from the very beginning of the planning stages of the Institute and also the growing of the Institute. So we're really, truly grateful for your partnership. We currently have 5 core leaders in the leadership team and 6 program leads or directors. So these are people leading the programs that I'll tell you about and also some of the events that you would join. They're the people planning it, doing all the work every day. And I am so excited to be sharing this space with them because this is really important work. And despite everything that's happening in our work, we are pushing on and doing this work with even more motivation because this is actually going to make us stronger. So we have students working with us. We have 4 student assistants right now and growing. And the reason for that is because we actually have many student programs. And the student who are in the programs are truly connected to some of our staff members. So they come back and work with us as student assistants and leaders as well. So we're grateful for that. And apart from that, we have affiliated with 20 faculty, and actually that number is growing. So that's why it's 20 plus. I think at this point we have 23. And these are faculty from all over the global network. And as Dan was talking about earlier, we have faculty and students coming from throughout the global network. Same thing for the faculty that are working with us at the Institute. Many of them are here in Oakland, and in fact, many of them were Mills faculty. But we also have faculty from Boston, from College of Social Sciences and Humanities, from the Corey College of Computer Science, even from Engineering and Business working with us at the Mills Institute, all for the mission of gender and racial justice. So we're really excited to be able to do this work together and to find solutions for pressing issues in the society and the community. We have research advisors as well. So 8 research advisors. Some of them are also faculty affiliates, so there's a little bit of overlap here. But there are a few that are actually Mills alums. And I know that they're actually here today in the audience. So we're really excited to be able to continue to think about research directions, innovations at the Institute together with this really special group of advisors that we have. There are scholars, community partners, and people who care deeply about the mission that we have set forth here at the Institute, things that we want to do for the future, basically. Research fellows, we have some programs that are research-based, which I will tell you about very soon in the next slide. And there are 19 of them that have joined us to do research at this time. And then, of course, we have many mentorship programs. We have now over 50 mentors and over 80 students that are considered scholars in our programs. So if you go to the next slide, Nicole, I can tell you a little bit about the programs that we have started running. Oh, actually, this is my team, my core team that I see every single day. I wanted to uplift all of them and let you know who they are. If you ever come to campus and you see them, please thank them, because this is really their work and more. There are many, many more people to thank. But to the next slide, you would see the programs that we currently run. So there's a lot of them. I'm not just going to go through everything, but just to give you an overview, this is really a multi-generational approach that we're taking at the Institute, because you can see programs all the way from pre-college, which is basically middle school and high school, all the way to community partners that we're working with, including executive education courses, partnerships that are outside of the country. I travel quite a bit, and actually I just came back from Mexico. Last week I was at a conference in Monterrey, Mexico at Tec de Monterrey, and that was amazing. So I would love to tell you more if you have time. But just to give you an overview, we have programs that support young students that are underserved in the communities, such as Upward Bound and Mills Educational Talent Search. Also, students that are within Northeastern. For example, the Trailblazers program, which used to be called Summer Academic Workshop, SAW. And some of you have actually been thought partners in creating this new program with us. So we're truly grateful for your partnership there. Programs such as Russell Women in Science Leadership, many of you are also familiar with. We were actually just planning the event that we have on March 20th with our speaker this year, who is Naomi Oriskis, a climate justice scholar from Harvard University. So if you are available on that day, please come join us. It's an open event, and it's part of this leadership program that we have planned for our students. This year, we're excited to announce that we have 31 students joining us in this program. Some of them here in Oakland, a few of them are actually in Boston. So excited to be expanding the program to more students in more places. And then, of course, we have Hellman, which is once again a very familiar name, funded by the Hellman Foundation. And this has become an experiential science program where we match mentors from the industry with students who are interested in careers in STEM and healthcare. So moving on to faculty and partners, just a brief overview. We have some research programs. So Research Justice at the Intersection program. This was a Mills Legacy program that we have rebranded and reimagined within the Northeastern Network that includes researchers and scholars and also community partners to come together to basically build solutions for pressing issues in gender and racial justice. And so far, it's going really well. And actually, this has translated into many innovation labs that we have created for the public. For example, today at 4 o'clock, we have conversation with two of our faculty members and also research justice fellows, Dr. Natalie Bauer and Dana Wright. They were both Mills faculty, actually still at Mills College at Northeastern, who will talk to us about their research on education equity. So we're really excited to have them and have them share their expertise and their research. Other things such as the conference, I think some of you were here with us at the Empowering Change to Radical Care conference. I think this topic can't be more relevant, right? Right now, we're actually talking all about radical care. And actually, my research associate director and I were just planning a series of events that has the theme of radical care during this time when the world is changing rapidly. What can we do to continue to band together and come together and do work for the future? Because whatever we do here is really to build a more just future. So we started that conversation at the conference in November. We're going to continue to do that throughout the year. And then, of course, Dan already talked about the Responsible AI Conference or Summit. That's on February 13th, which is next Thursday. So if any of you are interested, please come. I will be hosting a fireside chat with Lily Gongas, who is the Chief Technology Community Officer from KPOR Foundation. And that talk is actually focused on purpose-driven AI and how to design AI systems for all, which is really aligned with the mission of the Mills Institute. So very excited to be talking to her. And then a few more examples in executive education. We have women in leadership programs. We have responsible AI programs, as well as partnerships outside of the country. And I know that this has always been a very important part of Mills College. Mills College had local impact in Oakland, but we were also very influential worldwide. So one thing that's really important to me is that we continue to spread that good news that we're actually doing good work here. So we have actually paired up with Ochanomizu University in Japan. And in fact, I just received a message from our president at Northeastern writing a congratulation message to Ochanomizu for their 100th anniversary this year. Ochanomizu is a women's university in Japan, and we are a very close partner of them. And President Aoun from Northeastern has actually personally congratulated them, and that message will be posted online very soon. In Singapore and Malaysia, I'm also a partner with a group of women from actually from Mills and also from Smith College, creating a women's university. And some of you here actually may know them. But this is, once again, another partnership that we're creating outside of the country that is truly impactful and really bringing the legacy of Mills to more people so that we could continue to build a future that is more just. And then once again, the Mexico conference I was mentioning earlier, that is an education innovation conference, which is really all about empowering the future generations to do more and be more. So I'm really excited to be in all of these partnerships and global conversations and representing the Mills Institute as well as Northeastern through this particular opportunity. But I wanted to show you some of this because I think you all can be partners in this work, and I would love to see you in future events. So I think my time is up, so I'm going to pass the mic over to Beth Coakley to tell you more about the college at this time. But please contact me if you have any questions. I would love to hear from you.
Great. Thank you, Christy. And yes, up next, Dean Beth Coakley.
Thank you, Nicole, and thank you, Dan and Christy, for sharing all the great work that's happening across campus. So it's great to see you all. I see lots of familiar faces. I also see lots of new faces. I'm Beth Coakley. I'm the Dean of Mills College. I use she, her pronouns. I've been at Mills for almost 17 years now. I started as a faculty member in chemistry and moved into more leadership positions during COVID. So I'd love to share what we're doing within the college, give you some updates. We are continuing to grow. We have an absolutely fantastic leadership team. We've elevated some legacy members of our faculty to associate dean positions within the college. So some of you may be familiar with some of them. Merrill Bailey is our associate dean of curriculum. Priya Shimpi-Driscoll is our associate dean of research. We have a bunch of other folks in really fantastic leadership positions who really know and value Mills and are helping us move forward into this exciting future. So this year and moving forward, our biggest priority is really around developing curriculum. So we have a focus on sustainability as we're developing our curriculum, but really we're looking at it very broadly defined. So not just thinking about the narrow lens of environmental sustainability, but really also thinking about economic sustainability and social sustainability, and the ways all three of these large buckets intersect in very human ways that truly embody social justice, and recognizing that that's really where Mills' expertise has lied for a long time and where our faculty expertise lies. So we're working on developing this cutting edge curriculum that very much centers sustainability. But I also want to emphasize that equity and justice are hugely fundamental to sustainability. And we also acknowledge that solutions that privilege the few are not sustainable solutions. So we're looking at this in a very Mills lens, and our curriculum development efforts are going to continue to center justice and equity and belonging as our core values. So in terms of where we are on that curriculum development, we now have 21 undergraduate courses on the catalog for Mills College. 17 of them are interdisciplinary courses, which cover things like Intro to Ethnic Studies, Artificial Intelligence, and some applications to social justice, transformative restoration. We also have several new courses in creative writing. And actually, I'm very excited to share that we have our very first minor as Mills College at Northeastern University in creative writing. So we are working to bring some of these disciplines to the forefront and really think of them in exciting ways. Our creative writing curriculum also has really interesting tie-ins with, again, equity, and also with frontier technology, like the intersection of artificial intelligence and creative writing. And that's been, a really, really interesting discussion that society in general has been having. So we're diving into that. So in addition to the undergraduate coursework that we also have our 4 master's in education programs. So these are the Educational Leadership Program, the Early Childhood Education Program, and our 2 teacher education programs in multiple subject and single subject. Our early childhood program launched this year, so we have a cohort of students right now. We are actively recruiting for next year as well. We're going to continue the early childhood and also launch the educational leadership program starting next fall, so that's fall of 25. And then the teacher education programs, we're launching them in fall of 26. So kind of focusing on a gradual rollout to make sure we can really support a robust launch and bring in a good group of students as we continue to grow. So in terms of what we're concretely doing this year, each semester we have offered 2 courses as part of the offerings on our Oakland campus, things like race policy and storytelling and transformative justice through computing technology. Right now we are offering 2 courses on our campus. One is an Intro to Ethnic Studies, which I'm sure most folks will be really excited about, and that's actually our best enrolled Mills College course yet. So I'm really thrilled to have a good group of students in that course as well. Our creative writing courses are going to begin this summer. We're hoping to offer some through the summer session and continue to grow that also. So in terms of looking to the future and what we're continuing to develop, we are looking at programs that move students among the campuses. Northeastern calls them mobility programs. So we're looking at bringing students, upper division students from the Boston campus and other campuses onto our campus for a variety of different programs in fall of 2025. And Dan mentioned this. Mills is involved in 2 of these programs, so we're actively recruiting to bring students out. One is an ecosystems management program, and really it leverages our current faculty expertise in biology and ecology, and really also emphasizing the current landscape of California. So one of the courses that we're offering through that program is fire ecology, and really understanding the impacts of fire on our state. And this is, I recognize this is especially pertinent now since we had those horrible fires down in Southern California, but really helping to understand not only the science and the ecology of it, but the impacts of it and the equity pieces that we can bring to that as well. So we're also working on interdisciplinary sustainability coursework, kind of more broadly defined, creating a couple of new minors in those areas. And again, we're starting small with minors, hoping to grow out those to larger programs, to majors and other kind of degree programs. We are also leveraging our amazing faculty and their huge amount of expertise around mentored undergraduate research. So we're developing research badges and training programs for undergraduate students so that when they're here on our campus with our faculty, they're really getting that high touch, really important experience and can then take those skills and expertise to future research experiences wherever they end up within the Northeastern ecosystem. We're also actively working on experiential learning opportunities. We're really interested in service learning. So this is bringing community partners into the classroom and really thinking about how we can partner with the community folks around us and these, long-term partnerships we've had for a long time, and really how we rekindle those and bring them back into the classroom in really meaningful ways. So that's kind of where we are in terms of the curriculum development, and I'm excited to keep sharing more developments with you as we go. But I think that's it for me. Back to you, Nicole.
Thanks, Beth. All right, I'd like to introduce Katie Wildman, the Vice Chancellor for Student Life, and probably a new face again for many of you, unless you're at reunion, of course, and got to meet Katie in person.
Thanks so much, Nicole. And so nice to see. I see some familiar faces here. So good to see you if we've had a chance to visit at the Alumni Center. If we haven't, please introduce yourself, and I will do my best to connect with you as well. My name is Katie Wildman. I'm the Vice Chancellor for Student Life. I use she, her pronouns, and I am just completing my beautiful 1-year anniversary on this extraordinary campus with extraordinary people. And I don't have to tell this group that, because you already know what an incredible legacy is here. It's in the trees, it's in the grass, it's in the people that you meet. I think all of those things in terms of what it is and where we are is truly here. And so if you've had a chance to visit recently, hopefully you can still feel that. If you haven't visited, please come and visit us and see how these new students that we have on our campus are continuing an incredible legacy of this special place. And I feel so lucky that I've been able to spend a year here getting to know and learn about all kinds of traditions that have existed on this campus for so many years. But also for us to engage with these new spunky students who keep me young and challenge me, and also how we move forward with what students today are wanting and needing, and how we really innovate in that space. So I can tell you a little bit about what we're up to now and how we're moving forward. Right now, as Dan mentioned, we have first-year students, a whole lot of first-year students, and that means that first-year students need a lot of TLC, tender, loving care. And hopefully all of you feel like you had that as part of your Mills experience, and we are bringing that full force. So that Mills legacy of caring for your neighbor, of connecting with one another, are what students, when they leave here, are saying their favorite thing about our campus was the community, was the connectedness, was the presence that they feel. And that makes me really proud. And hopefully that makes you proud too, because I feel like we're definitely continuing that Mills legacy that is so important. With that, it also means that we have a lot of things that first-year students need to know, meaning they need to know leadership skills. They need to know, how do we harness this thing that I want to do and how we make it happen on this campus. So we're trying to be an incubator for what that is for a lot of first-year students. But also, in addition, we have some Mills Legacy students that are finishing up their degree. And so trying to be there for those seniors and sort of super seniors who are continuing and finishing up, how we can be a support for those students as well. And that also means making sure that we implement all those traditions that you know so well. So our senior paint wall, our graduation, the Pearl Inn dinner, which Nicole was mentioning earlier. I got to do the lantern walk last year for the first time. It felt very special. I even got my feet muddy on the back green, which was exciting. I felt like I was truly integrated into the campus. So thank you for preserving those legacies, but also for those legacies to still continue as what our students now are experiencing. We're also talking about the power of place, is how we've been talking about it, in terms of where are we? What do we need and what do we want students to know about being here in Oakland? What are the tenets that we want to share if students are here for one semester or if they're here for 1 year? What is it that we want them to know about Oakland, about this campus, about the legacy, about women's education, or about belonging and inclusion, or about a connectedness to all kinds of political movements that are here, and how can we help students understand that important history? So we're finding ways, interesting ways, innovative ways to weave that message through. One of those things I can't wait another minute before I tell you about, which is that the Mills College Art Museum has an incredible display right now happening on campus. If you have not seen it, please don't waste another minute. Please come to campus and see it. Make a trip. It is worth a trip to come and see, which is truly a look at feminine artist, photographer who has captured pieces of nature connected to this campus, things found here or could be found here, and videos using technology and all those things that students are teaching me in technology and AI and all of these other pieces to really make those kinds of nature come alive on our campus. So there's a map, an old Mills map that has some flowers on it that's really interesting, but it's really dynamic. It's unlike probably ever a museum visit that you've ever had. And so definitely make a trip to come and see it. I say that because one of the things we're trying to do is connect that with the technology piece that our world is leaning into, and how we connect that to our student experience in all the ways in which we engage with students, including the art museum, how we take that and perhaps put it along our Pine Top Trail. So students, when they're taking a walk around campus, are also sort of connecting that with the art museum and connecting that with the grounding that we know can come from being in a beautiful place where things are bigger than ourselves. So those are some things I'm excited about. We also have a living learning community talking about power of place, talking about history and social movements, which I think is really important, and that connection to Oakland. Maybe some of you want to hear more about housing. I always find that alumni are very excited to know about what's happening in the residence halls. I know I lived on campus with college students for 15 years. Most people don't do this, but I had a really good time of it. So I just kept asking if I could do it. And our students are keeping your buildings alive, whether you're a Mary Morris family member, or you're a Warren Only family member, or whether you're an Ethel Moore family member. We have all of our buildings, with the exception of Ethel Moore, up and running and are full. And Ethel Moore, we are ready to get her renovated and up and situated for students to be in that in the future. So we're really excited about that. And please know that all of those memories, the friend that you saw walking down the hall, the late night story in the bathroom, the brushing your teeth, stories, whatever it is for you that you crafted in those halls, please know that students are still doing those exact same things at the exact same sink, and really learning and growing, and that legacy is there. Maybe some of you were in athletics and participating in sports and recreation. Our recreation center is a center for activity. We have somewhere between 1,300 and 1,500 visits a week. Now that is a lot of running and jumping and shooting and all the other pieces that students are up to these days. We have competitive teams in cross country and rowing, volleyball, soccer. Those are pieces of what we're actually competing with other universities now in club sports. And then we also have intramurals that are happening, including our basketball games, which if you're interested, you should come on a Friday night. Hundreds of students flock to our Haas Center to watch groups of students play each other in our intramural leagues. So that's also a really special thing to do. As I sort of finish up with what it is we offer in student life, we're doing all kinds of innovation, as I mentioned, with connecting with students. Our Center for Belonging still continues to do important work connected to social justice and integration, both for our campus and learning, but also to provide affinity spaces for students who need and benefit from that connection. Those are still running strong, including our women's lounge, our Mary Adkins lounge as well. So I just want to sort of offer that up. We're having some traditions like our Black and White Ball, Family and Friends Weekend, and all of our themed months celebrating Women's History Month and Black Heritage Month, et cetera, et cetera. So those things continue. We continue to stretch and build and let students teach us and innovate us, while we also bring what I view as myself as a teacher, that teacher component where we're trying to foster learning opportunities at every angle and trying to honor the legacy that is definitely a part of this campus. So thank you for each of you for teaching me in my last year here on campus. Continue to teach me, continue to ask questions, and I'll look forward to hearing about your stories, including those stories in the residence halls. They never get old. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Katie. And I'm starting to pop some links in the chat. So the Art Museum website includes, I sent you a link right to the current exhibit, and there's a virtual tour. So maybe after this event, pop over there, take a look at the tour, definitely come to campus. And then I'm going to pop in some other links too for that Responsible AI conference, Christy's email, so you can sign up for the newsletter. So I don't want that to distract you because we have another speaker, Carrie Maltzby-Lute, who is a Mills alum also, MBA alum 2012, and a former faculty member for Mills at Northeastern, and just doing really cool work on campus. So Carrie, getting your screen ready. Where'd she go? Can you hear us, Carrie? Are you muted still?
There we
Here
go.
you are.
All hear me?
Awesome.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. And can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So it's an honor to be here with you all. Thank you so much, Nicole, for including me in this amazing presentation. This means a lot to me. I'm actually a Mills alum, for those of you that might not know me. I'm a Loki graduate, class of 2011, and I spent over 5 years here also teaching in the graduate program, marketing-related topics, and I loved experiential learning within the classroom. And so when the Northeastern merger happened, I was really excited about the fact that Northeastern invests so heavily in experiential learning opportunities, because this is one of the most powerful ways that we can educate our students. And so, really excited to share the work that I do with you all, because my role, head of partnerships, did not exist at Mills College. And it really is what makes Northeastern unique, and what fuels a lot of the work that we do is having these connections to industry and city and organizational partners so students can get that hands-on learning. So I, as a marketer, I created a slide deck because I love visuals to keep me on track. And let's see here. So I'll start by I want to define what it is I do, because this was not a role that existed prior. And this is really what makes us very unique as an institution, is this investment into partnerships. And so as someone who, I love that Katie mentioned the power of place, as a longtime Oakland resident and someone who cares deeply about this campus. I view the work that we do, also, as something that can help fuel the local economy, but also fuel the global economy. We're trying to create leaders that are global forces. And so when I think about the mission for my team, and we're a lean, mean team of 3 on our Oakland campus, it's about being a global force that spurs innovation, develops leaders, drives economic growth, and does this through dynamic partnerships. And some of these partnerships, our key focus areas are around experiential learning, workforce and custom education, research and innovation, and community trust and impact. So I'll talk just a little bit about these. I again love visuals to highlight this work. So I'm going to show you some of the things that we've been doing since this work is very unique. Experiential treks. This is something that is starting to really define our campus. This is when we take students across all of the majors to industry partners, organizational partners, and we do this so they can celebrate and learn about our region. We're really wanting to integrate them into our community and also expose them to career opportunities that they might not know exist. So we've gone to companies like Google, Tesla, the leading technology firms, but we also go to organizations like KQED, the Oakland Museum, the Oakland Zoo. And the purpose is to get students excited about being in this region and also excited about different career opportunities. I'm going to play a short little video of Trek. It's only 43 seconds. And you'll get to see some of the students that work. So again, this is a campus-wide initiative. It requires the support of everyone on this call, Student Life, Mills Institute, Alumni, everyone here really helps make sure that our 800 students have a great experience. And this is just a snippet of all of the partner organizations that we've served over the last 2 years. So again, we've been to some really dynamic local and global institutions. And, you know, within my role as partnerships head, it's not just about Trek. Trek is a small piece of what we do, but it's really about building trust with the organizations in this region so we can do other things like have co-op students with our partners and have research collaborations and create new technologies and research. It's all sorts of things, but this really launches the journey. And so a lot of you, I'm assuming, have heard about our co-op program, and that's what really makes Northeastern very unique. And so some stats on our co-op program, because a lot of the work that we do at the partnerships is to drive interest in getting our student talent connected with our industry partners. And so 90% of students participate in co-op. And this is, again, that unique experience where students are no longer, that kind of integrates academic experience with real world work experience. And so students are not taking courses, but they're getting paid full time to actually work at an industry partner's place of business. And so in this, the outcomes are amazing. 97% of our Northeastern graduates are employed at the company that they potentially 50% of our graduates are receive offers from a place that they co-op at, and 97% generally find work within their area of study or in graduate school 9 months after graduation. So our outcomes from experiential learning and co-op are really powerful and are a testament to why our institution is so popular. We also do things that are projects, student-based projects that enable companies to get student talent at no cost. So if you're working in an organization that wants to potentially have students support you on data science, or maybe it's a marketing plan, or maybe it's something surrounding research, we can get students that can support that. We have a whole team that enables organizations and nonprofits to actually have projects done by students at no cost. So this is a really great thing. We do things like lunch with leaders, where we bring in companies to actually have their leaders meet with small student groups. This is a group called Girls Who Code, or Women Who Code. And they do amazing things, and they got to meet with leaders from tech companies that showcase some of their technologies and inspired them to become computer scientists. So we're always trying to curate these unique experiences that bring leaders, industry leaders, and connect them with our students. And so building a future workforce is another piece of this work that I do on the partnership side. we're constantly thinking about how can we support the companies that exist in our region, in the larger world. How can we actually support the employees that are there through reskilling and upskilling and offering degrees and certificates? So we're doing a great job of that. And we're excited about expanding this work so that we can help companies have stronger employees in a stronger region. You've heard about the Responsible AI in Practice Summit that Christy mentioned, Dan mentioned. We're really excited about this, so I'll kind of skip over that. And then research and innovation. We are leaders in research as an R1 institution. That's something that is a bit different than Mills College. We were a very amazing teaching institution, and so now we have the opportunity to connect with industry partners and drive innovations within the business world. And then last, you know, as a Mills alum, as just like you, I'm highly committed to the community. And so we've done a lot of amazing things around building community trust and impact. I talk about moving at the speed of trust and how important that is. And so we've done some engagements that have helped our community, just like having an AI for small business workshops that helps drive small businesses adoption of AI. And this was a free workshop. We're doing things with the Oakland Roots that are an amazing new emergent semi-pro team that we have in the Oakland area. So we're doing a number of engagements with them to help drive awareness. And then partnering up with Nicole and Advancement and the entire Advancement team to do industry-focused alumni mixers. So we've done already. So hopefully you can look out for more of those as we continue to create unique events that will help drive community even amongst ourselves as alums. And so how you can support is connect us with industry partners, mentors, speakers, prospective students, and then join our events. You've heard a lot about the Responsible AI Summit coming up. Please share that information with others, join us, and then reach out directly to me. Thank you so much for the time today, and back to you, Nicole.
It's Carrie. And again, I popped some links in the chat, so I hope you'll grab those before we're done, but you can always reach out to me too if you have any questions about all this great work that's happening. Beth, I did get a question for you, and probably others might have the same question. It's from Lynette Castile Hall, class of 75. What is the difference between minors and those combined majors? How do you kind of maybe flesh that out a little bit more for us?
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Lynette. That's a really good question. So combined majors are something that I believe are unique to Northeastern. So combined majors, they're kind of based on the idea of a double major. But when you have a double major, you have to take all coursework in one and all coursework in the other, and there's very little wiggle room for anything else. So we had we had double majors as part of Mills College. So we often had students who would double major in like chemistry and art, for example. A combined major is a little bit different. So a combined major takes like a selection of the chemistry courses and a selection of the art courses, and then has a few very specialized courses that weave those two disciplines together in really interesting ways, like around art conservation, for example, and the science behind that. So that's what a combined major is. It's much more interdisciplinary, and that we are not relying on the students to make the connections themselves, but we are really kind of curating that connection between the two disciplines. And since it's only a selection from each discipline, there's a lot more room for exploration and electives and things like that. So that's what a combined major is. Excuse me. A minor is something that's smaller than a combined major. So a minor is a set of between 4 and 5 courses around a discipline. And a minor is not a degree, so whereas combined majors are actual degrees, but a minor is not a degree. So a minor is a way for us to start. It's a way for us to get courses on the books, to cluster them together in meaningful ways, to start increasing enrollment. And as we have increased enrollment in a minor, that can eventually grow into something like either a standalone major or a combined major. So for our creative writing minor, for example, perhaps we'll grow that into a combined major with computer science and AI technology or something along those lines. I have no idea. We can go lots of different directions with that. But so that's kind of what a minor is. It's a very small cluster of courses to start, engage students' interest, and then we hope to grow that into either a combined major or a standalone major or both. We'll see.
Perfect. Thank you, Beth. noticing the time, and we usually go over, and I'm trying so hard to keep us to 1 o'clock and respect everyone's time. I guess in closing, I just want to thank you all for joining us. I would love to thank all of our campus leaders for sharing these updates and being so willing to meet with us today, to include alums in all the work that you're doing. And I hope that you all heard today that there's so many great ways to continue to engage in the campus. And I hope you're hearing about work that's making you proud to be a Mills alum and to still be really just involved and informed and continue to support the work that we're doing, because a lot of really great work is happening here. So with that, I just want to thank you all. Again, we're going to share this recording with all alums. So if you have a friend who missed it, don't worry, they will get it soon in the eucalyptus. And I look forward to seeing you at upcoming events and on more virtual events too. So don't be a stranger. Thanks, everyone. Take care.